The nest is nearly empty. Sunny and Gizmo are flapping harder, hopping further, and eating fish like there is no tomorrow. And Jackie and Shadow, well, they're pulling back. So what do Jackie and Shadow do now? Well, they go on vacation. Once Sunny and Gizmo are officially out of the nest, flying, foraging, and figuring out how talons work, Jackie and Shadow will enter a period known as the non-breeding season. This is the long, quiet stretch of time after parenting ends and before the next chapter begins. Their routines will shift. No more dusk to dawn fish runs, no more non-stop guarding and parenting and teaching. The nest will grow still, and Jackie and Shadow, well, they'll finally get to rest. Now, some bald eagles will migrate during this season. Those who nest in the far north in high altitudes, places where lakes freeze solid and prey becomes scarce, they'll travel hundreds of miles to find open water. But fortunately for our heroes, Jackie and Shadow won't need to do this. Big Bear Lake gets snow, but it rarely freezes over completely. This means there will still be fish, plenty of space to hunt, and if there's food, bald eagles stay put. Except Jackie and Shadow won't be in the nest anymore. Once the chicks are gone, the nest becomes a memory. Important, yes, but not a place to live and sleep. Instead, Jackie and Shadow will take to the trees. At this point, you probably won't see them on camera anymore, but the good news is they'll still be around, perched in a tall tree overlooking the valley, soaring low across the water, keeping quiet watch over the territory they have spent years defending. And here is something beautiful. Even when the eaglets are gone, Jackie and Shadow will stay together. They won't always be side by side, but they will stay close enough to share the sky, and most importantly, close enough to find each other. And sometimes they'll fly, and not in the aggressive hunting dives or scramble of parenting, something much more gentle. They will take wide, slow circles, rising on thermals and gliding in silence together. And this is a special kind of pair flight. Sometimes these flights do serve a purpose. They might help a pair patrol their territory and maintain awareness. But other times, researchers have noted that they do it simply because they seem to enjoy it. In other words, when the work is done, Jackie and Shadow may soar together, just because they like being around each other. And after everything, storms and snow and parenting and predators, maybe that is more than enough. To share the wind, to stay in the same sky, and to rest together. But the story doesn't end there, because soon enough, summer vacation will end, and Jackie and Shadow will return to the nest with a mission. After time away, they will have to remind the forest that this place still belongs to them. One day this fall, Jackie's gonna show up like she never left. She'll drop a stick into the nest, stand there a moment like she owns the place, which, to be fair, she kind of does, and then take off again. A few days later, Shadow might do the same thing. And these aren't just casual visits. In fact, Jackie and Shadow will be doing something vital here. In the fall, bald eagle pairs begin re-establishing their territory. In the eagle world, a well-built nest in a good location is like prime beachfront property. Everybody wants it. So Jackie and Shadow will check in now and then. A stick here, a short visit there, just to remind everyone this nest is taken. And it's not only about the nest either. These visits also help reinforce their bond as a pair. All relationships need maintenance and attention, and bald eagles have their own special way of doing this, and one way they do it is through visiting and working on the nest together. Come fall, it won't be nesting season yet, but the bond is warming back up and the territory has been reclaimed. And soon, Jackie and Shadow will start getting serious about what's to come next. I wanted to cut in here very quickly to say that this video is all just speculation. I based all of it off of research I did on eagle behavior, but nobody can predict the future. Also, I did want to give a quick shout out and a big thank you to friends of Big Bear Valley for setting up their live camera. Without it, we wouldn't have the remarkable story of Jackie and Shadow that has touched so many of our hearts. So they have made all of this possible. All right, back to the story. By early winter, things will start to shift. The quick check-ins will become full visits, and the one-stick deliveries will turn into full-scale home improvement projects. Jackie and Shadow will return to the nest more often, adding branches, reshaping the structure, rebuilding what wind and weather have worn down. And Jackie, she won't just supervise, she'll take over. Rearranging Shadow's sticks, tearing up the floor, starting over from scratch because it's all wrong. And it's not personal, it's just how she operates. In Shadow, he'll let her do all this. Maybe with a look that says, "Wasn't that stick just fine?" But in the end, he'll go find another one. Because this is pretty common in eagle pairs. Both partners contribute to the building, but it is the female who usually does most of the arranging, especially inside the nest bowl, because this is where she'll eventually lay eggs. Males tend to handle more of the gathering and flying in with sticks, while the females fine-tune the structure. So if Jackie doesn't like Shadow's interior design choices, she'll redo them immediately. But like before, nest building isn't just about the nest. It's part of their bond, because each stick that gets placed, each perch that they share, and each flight they take together, these are courtship behaviors. They're reminders that they are still a team. So at this point, the eggs will still be weeks away, but make no mistake, Jackie and Shadow are getting ready. By late January, the nest is in good shape. The bond is locked in, the territory is quiet, and Jackie and Shadow, they're about to take the next step. This is when eagle courtship really starts to ramp up. You'll see more vocalizing, short, sharp calls back and forth as they move through the trees. They'll perch near each other more often, preen their feathers, sometimes even preen each other. Shadow might bring food to Jackie, or a stick, because nothing says "I'm committed" like lugging a giant branch across the forest. They'll also fly together more often, sometimes in wide, gliding circles, and other times in bold, dramatic displays that are iconic to eagles. There will be times where they soar high above the lake, grab each other's feet, and free fall through the air, spiraling downward in a spinning cartwheel of trust and chaos. It is a wild and dangerous display that serves one very specific purpose. It says, "I trust you enough not to let me die," which is kind of beautiful, and is also basically the bald eagle version of renewing your vows. It is one of the most intense courtship behaviors in the animal kingdom, and in the end, it works, because after all of that, we're not showing that. And just like that, we have eggs. If both eagles stay healthy, a bonded pair like Jackie and Shadow can return to the same nest year after year for decades. In their lifetime, they may lay 40, 50, even 60 eggs together. And some won't hatch, some won't survive, but many of them will. Each spring, the nest fills with new life, and each summer it empties again. And Jackie and Shadow, they will do it all over again. They'll rebuild, they'll protect, they'll raise the wild, and when the time comes, they'll let it go, and a new story will begin. Now that is the story of what's to come for Jackie and Shadow, but if you want to know what's going to happen to Sunny and Gizmo, I also just made a whole video about that, so you can check that out right there. If you like this video, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below so that I can see you in the next one.